What makes it worth investing time and money to come to this big forum and event?
Well, the event is a non-profit platform, so we have contributed largely to the cost of the event in a way to create this opportunity for our partners, the government's officials we work, some of our clients, celebrity philanthropists, to endorse the idea of global citizenship beyond understanding of simple investments in exchange of residence or second citizenship. Is understanding that a global citizen is somebody who understands how everything is interconnected, how the personal prosperity, personal liberty, of freedom of movement is very interrelated with the one of others.
What's the real meaning of global citizenship?
There's many definitions in Wikipedia, but as I said, the one I like is related to me, who is third generation of migration related. My grandparents have been refugees from Armenian genocide. They've been refugees. My parents have been economic migrants, people who have selected to leave a country to give a better future for their children. And I was educated in Canada, and this is where I became an entrepreneur. And third, well, I choose to be a global citizen, and I moved to live in Dubai. I'm a citizen of 6 countries today, and I do it by choice of extending my reach, and by doing so, and with the assets I have, trying to create a better world for my kids.
Why are extremist groups like such as ISIS against art, and what can do to save them?
I think one of the reasons for these extremists to destroy heritage is because history delegitimizes them. History shows that there are different cultures in this world, that there were people who were living together side by side for thousands of years. I'm talking about Iraq, I'm talking about Syria, one of the most diverse countries in the Middle East, where we see layers of civilization. I think first we have to stop the illicit trafficking of objects of art which are sold on the markets, and with the money this destructive activity is being financed. And then I would say to instill a very deep sense of purpose and of commitment among young people to the heritage in different places. I remember I was in Tunisia once. I went to a school, and a girl, it was a secondary school, and a girl told me, I was talking about the beautiful mosaics, Roman mosaics that exist in Tunisia. And I said, you have such a beautiful, incredible heritage. And she said, but why should I care about this heritage? This heritage is not mine. I said, no, it is yours. Because here you are descendants of different cultures in Tunisia. And albeit what is the predominant, you have in your blood also the other cultures. So that is why extremists want to erase this understanding, this notion.
To what extent do you think the European Union is responsible for the migrant crisis and for the worsening situation? And what do you think should be done to cope with this major issue?
Listen, I don't think that the European Union is responsible at all for this crisis. In this crisis, we have to see 2 things. First, we have the war refugees, and of course, we feel extremely sorry for them, for the bad times that these peoples are going through, and through this, we should really help them. But even refugees, particularly war refugees, they have to abide by the law, and in particular the law that was done to protect them.
The question is about the new relationship between Cuba and the United States. Which consequences does it have on the over the Caribbean islands, and especially over St. Lucia?
Okay. The first thing to bear in mind is that for years, the Caribbean countries have been championing a rapprochement between Cuba and the United States. We have repeatedly said so, and that has been our diplomatic position over the years. Indeed, we have called repeatedly for the lifting of the embargo against Cuba. Now, most commentators suggest that once Cuba opens up, then Cuba is going to be a major competitor in tourism. A lot of Americans are going to head to Cuba, whether it's because of nostalgia or whether it's because Cuba is going to attract them with even more competitive rates for their product. So the suggestion is that you're going to have a deluge. But you know, we are different. We're a small island and we target a particular segment of the market, particularly the higher end of the market. So we do not think that in the long term, Cuba is going to have a dramatic effect on us. Yes, initially that may be the case as persons try to flock from the United States to Cuba, but I believe soon after that, the intrigue with Cuba will end very quickly and the market will settle. The thing to bear in mind is that we are offering the marketplace a unique and special product, which we don't think the Cubans can compete with. And that's the key thing for us. We're going to survive. I have no difficulty with that.
What should the EU do, and the EU member states, to maximize the benefits of immigration and try to minimize the negative effects?
The basic thing is education and training. We in Europe need more migrants. I know that is not very popular to say it, but that's the truth. We have what I've called a demographic winter. Europe is becoming older and older. And we need more input in terms of work, and also we need people that can pay afterwards for the social security, to assure the social security sustainability. At the same time, there are in our societies resistance to a big influx of migrants that are sometimes from other ethnic groups or from other religion, and that is a serious challenge because it can be used by extremists or chauvinists, sometimes xenophobic political forces that are today finding some room in Europe to expand. Solution is to be open but to integrate the people, to teach them our languages. I think language is very important, so that they can communicate. If possible, give them training. Some of them already come with some level of training and education, but others not. So make it a win-win. And so from that point of view, we can do something that is morally sound, and I think it's our duty to receive the refugees. It's a humanitarian duty, but at the same time, it is also in our, let's call it, enlightened self-interest, because we are given more opportunities of growth to our economies.
What are your impressions about the conference?
Well, the point of the conference is absolutely correct, and it is pointing in precisely the right direction. The burden of my song is that the world is getting better. See, I spent most of my life when I was your age as a pessimist and was thinking it was an existential disaster. Instead, I have found out that the world is a lot better now than it was when I was your age. And so that was a profound discovery for me at very late age. And so I was happy to be able to say that to all of you young people here. Look forward, not back. It's a great world out there.
If you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. We have a long way to go. We can only do so if we go together.
Oh,